with Nathan Derry, the slingshot. A man who'd only played one Euro Tour event before, and that was way back in 2015. He is a man who has not managed to win more than 2 games in a row on the tour so far this year. But if he does come through this one, then he'll find himself playing the unseeded Karel Sedlacek for a spot in the quarter-finals here at the German Darts Grand Prix. However, Darren Webster, his best stuff so far this year has come on the European Tour, last 16 in the quarter-final.
Darren to throw first. Game on.
And it is the seeded player who has the advantage of throwing first in this one. I'm Dan Dawson, Paul Nicholson alongside me for it.
I'm very much looking forward to watching Nathan today after yesterday.
Yesterday was unreal.
60.
The one game he plays where he's not called the firework, he produces fireworks.
Which is true. I have to say, I think the slingshot suits him fantastically as a nickname. I was unaware that he'd taken it on until this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's very apt. I had a chat with Nath last night. He used to sit with myself
81.
and Peter Wright and a few other guys when Nathan was on the tour before. Great guy to be around, really. You know, he's always laughing and joking and smiling. But he's just a really nice guy to be around. But he gets up there and he's quite intense.
100.
But I talked to him last night about the slingshot thing, and he said, yeah, it fits me. And I said, well, we were taking the mick out of you a bit, Nath, because we said you look more like a sprinkler head.
yeah. There is
the old sprinkler dance.
Yeah. There is a bit of that.
He saw the funny side of it.
Well, he's evidently enjoying his return to the Euro
82.
Tour. He did make the final day in Gibraltar, the one time that he'd been on the European Tour before. But as I say, it was a long while ago. But he was here early.
60.
He was taking pictures of the stage before anybody was on it. Just seems to be having the time of his life. And after the performance yesterday, when he beat Steve Beaton 6-1 with 6 180s in 7 legs of darts, why wouldn't he be enjoying himself?
I can't remember the last time I saw someone average 129 for their first 9 darts.
Yeah, draw the first leg.
You might
Darren
need
Webster.
some more of that, Nathan, because that's a decent start from Darren. And Darren will like that, considering he has got issues with his throwing arm at the minute. He's got a bit of tennis elbow.
28.
He's just playing through a bit of pain right now, and he's getting acupuncture for it.
You know, he said the acupuncture helped him a lot when he had some quite serious back
82.
problems that he thought might have taken him out of the game a few years ago. So hopefully that helps. Certainly Kim Hybrecht's another player we've seen use acupuncture to deal with elbow issues. Gary Anderson is a player at the moment who apparently is suffering similar. Have you ever struggled with your elbow from darts?
Anything from the shoulder down to the fingertips I've had. Mostly the wrist, though. The biggest case of
83.
wrist injuries we've seen in the last few seasons has been Jelle Klaassen, who had to have surgery. I just stopped playing when I got mind flaring up. It was twice in a season I had to take 6 weeks off. And it just stops in your tracks.
Well,
100.
you get the feeling Nathan Derry, the bit of his anatomy most in danger is his hips. It certainly seems to do more work than anything else when he's throwing.
140.
Well, in that case, you should walk on a Shakira then, because they don't lie.
Wow. He is finding the treble 20, but he's not following it up like he was yesterday.
80.
It's a little bit of a different atmosphere this afternoon, like it was last night. Tops again for Darren. Yeah, very good indeed.
Darren Webster.
And these guys know each other very, very well.
Game on.
And I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing for Nathan, but like I mentioned about the atmosphere, it was really loud in here last night at the very start of the session when he was playing Steve Beaton. It's just got louder because of that max from Darren.
Yeah, they do know each other well, but they've only played
60.
once before. That was in Nathan's first spell as a tour card holder. He actually won that game. So you're going back to 2015 there.
60.
Nathan won it by 6 legs to 3 in a Players' Championship event. But 2015, it's before Darren Webster became the player he's become over the last 3 years, probably. You know, major semi-finalist, guy who's won PDC titles, and he's actually a very consistent performer on the European Tour, albeit The last 16 is usually where his runs would end. However, quarter-final at the back end last year, quarter-final of the European Championship, quarter-final already this year. Treble 17 might have gone for that, Darren Webster, the way he's throwing, because he's getting better as this game goes on.
Just going to say that second dart came out really late. Maybe that one was a painful dart, but the recovery was excellent.
24.
Inside of that first dart, just like that. And he gets it, he's halfway to that. His runs ending at the last 16, where it's happened a lot this year. He's only had one quarter-final this year so far, and that was in the last Euro Tour event.
Yeah, that's it. On the floor stuff has not been going very well for Darren Webster at all. Not been playing brilliantly, but the Euro Tour, it's actually been encouraging. There's a few players in that situation where their floor form hasn't been great, but suddenly the Euro Tour getting going gives them something slightly different, and it just seems to give them a bit of impetus, and they can start getting their form back.
Talking about Joe Cullen.
Well, I mean, certainly that was exactly what happened last year. This year, weirdly, he's got some results in the floor tournaments, despite playing pretty poorly, I have to say. But all of a sudden, the Euro Tour's back and he started playing well again.
Well, he's got Glenn Durrant later, hasn't he? So he's going to have to pick his game up.
That game could be an absolute belter. Nathan Derry, for the first time in this match, finds himself as favourite to win a leg. A big favourite to win a leg.
89.
He'll come back and have a look at double 16 to get on the board, because he still hasn't had a dart at double yet.
81. Nathan Uruguay 32.
He's going to get one just now. How much of that can he see? Not
no
enough.
Score. Darren Uruguay.
This 142 number keeps popping up this weekend. It does. They all seem to be going for it the same way.
82. Nathan Uruguay.
I do quite like that route. Single 17, you just go 25 , and all of a sudden you've just left the top. But Nathan does pin that double 16. He does get a first leg. And this is a massive, massive opportunity. I know players don't like to look ahead about who they could face and stuff like that. Some of them don't anyway. But to face Karel Sedlacek, a man who's never been in the final day of a Euro Tour before, who's only won his game
95.
averaging 79, then to face him for a place in the quarterfinals, that is, on paper,
100.
About as good as it's going to get. Now, at the same time, the caveat is Karel Sedlacek played fantastically in the first half of his game against Diogo Portela, and he's obviously 46. A very handy player. I don't think he's going to play like he did today, tomorrow afternoon. But when Darren Webster's a man who's lost to Peter Wright and Michael Van Gerwen and all that kind of stuff in last 16s before, he'd take it.
Absolutely right. And Nathan will know as well, that if he can edge Darren out today, what an opportunity that would be for him.
Absolutely.
Can't look too far ahead though.
130.
Darren is playing sneaky well today. That's a beautiful setup from 162.
Yeah, it's only that last leg that he's had off here, Darren Webster.
60.
He's been round about that 15 dart mark in every other leg, and that's a 13 darter. And it means that Darren Webster's winning legs have come in 15, 15, 16 and 13. Those 4 legs, that's over the 100 average.
Yeah, it's over the 100 average by 2 darts
97.
in the winning legs. He looks focused today, and I think maybe, after what I said earlier, about how would Nathan react to playing someone that he knows really well, I think it's suiting Darren. He doesn't have to get all fired up and
81.
Need that extra energy. I think he's just comfortable playing against Nathan, knows his pace, knows the kind of things he does during a game. This is his kind of match.
137.
Yeah. And Nathan literally, his first 9 average was almost 50 points higher yesterday against Beaton.
140.
You can see Nathan trying to get fired up. He needs some fireworks. Does slingshot.
140.
Well, this is just a real sort of solid level from Darren Webster that's not really dropping.
100. Daniel Uruguay 84.
Darren will need to take this out. Bullseye.
59. Nathan Uruguay 83.
But it may only be a dart at bullseye for the slingshots. No, it's double 16.
75.
Just going to say, over the last
Darren,
9
you're
darts,
You're
9
going
darts,
25.
Nathan's really started to tighten things up. But that miss could be huge. It's
Yeah,
proved to be.
Darren
And
Webster.
Darren Webster's doing his job
So
really
Darren to
professionally
throw
here.
first. Game on.
And in double quick time, Darren Webster is looking to be the first seeded player through to the final day of action here at the German Darts Grand Prix. 102
59.
average almost at the moment. That is as good as we have seen. Glenn Durrant was good yesterday. Stephen
41.
Bunting was good yesterday. Nathan himself was good yesterday. Scoring was unparalleled. Ted Everts has been good in both of his games so far.
100.
But this is right up there. And the weird thing, I mean, I don't think anybody was picking Nathan Derry to come
45.
through and get his tour card this year. He won it on the final day of Q School, winning his card outright. This is a big weekend for him. He's got £2,000 in ranking money
60.
from today. Last year, he played 19 Challenge Tour events. He won 450 quid. It's not as if on the Challenge Tour he was
100.
tearing it up or anything like that.
He is streaky.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, isn't it? He has these days where, whoa, it's all going well.
Yeah.
But those days
82.
aren't consistent. That's why he lost his tour card. He didn't have enough of those days.
It probably didn't help because he was hanging around with Peter Wright so much. He actually
100.
fell into the Peter Wright trap of changing his darts most weeks. But I think he's got a setup now that he trusts. I mean, these ones, after yesterday's performance, he's got to stick with them, surely,
100.
for the long haul. They go in with so much purpose. Lovely angle of entry.
60.
Considering how they get to the board,
Darren Uruguay,
they go in pretty
100.
uniformly. But it looks like Darren Webster might be bringing his weekend to an end.
Game shot.
Hi ho,
And the
hi
match,
ho.
Darren
It's into
Webster.
round 3 he goes. 6-1 comprehensive from Darren.